Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today's the 9th of November 2023 and guys, the price of Bitcoin is definitely heading towards the moon. Now look guys, what is really important to understand is now we are in a period where the US Securities and Exchange Commission has a window essentially where they can go ahead and approve Bitcoin spot ETF, and here is where it gets interesting, and that's one of the reasons why I very strongly feel the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is pumping up right now, because if there is one Bitcoin spot ETF that will be approved, pretty much all the other Bitcoin spot ETF will be approved as well, so we'll definitely go ahead and explore that. And what has happened is that Bloomberg ETF analysts James Seyffert and Eric Balchuanas, they have gone ahead and mentioned via Twitter, and they have gone ahead and given an explanation that if Bitcoin spot ETF will be approved, pretty much all of the 12 Bitcoin spot ETF will be approved, so we'll definitely go ahead and have a look at that. Now look guys, just yesterday in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, I talked about Ordinals reaching a new milestone, and there's a massive update to that, and looks like for the very first time, NFTs on Bitcoin blockchain, that is Ordinals, has flipped Ethereum NFTs, and that is only for a 24-hour period. And now look guys, news surrounding Bitcoin spot ETF is having an impact on other technologies that is kind of connected to Bitcoin blockchain as well, isn't it? This is the power of news, and I'm pretty much sure this news will continue, and later on in the second half of next year, most likely we'll be having a Bitcoin halving as well. So it looks like there's a lot of news surrounding regarding Bitcoin spot ETF, so we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on this. Now guys, listen, so far as the banking industry is concerned, they have two choices, either to completely go against cryptocurrencies or blockchain, or go ahead and adopt it. Now there are two updates today where both of the detractors of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies or blockchain technology as such, they have gone ahead and decided to adopt cryptocurrencies or tokenization, and the first news is regarding HSBC, and they have decided to tokenize securities. And to be honest guys, I'm pretty much sure a lot of the other banks will be following a similar pursuit, so we'll definitely go ahead and discuss that. And the second news guys is regarding one of the biggest detractors of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies or blockchain, called as Dr. Doom. Now a lot of people in the Bitcoin community, cryptocurrency and blockchain community absolutely do not like him, but to be honest guys, what he is saying does make a lot of sense. And Dr. Doom is Dr. Nouriel Roubini, and he has often said that Bitcoin or blockchain is nothing more than a glorified Excel spreadsheet. But what is a bit interesting is that, and not surprising to be honest, is that he's going ahead and launching a new token. And to be honest guys, this might be a massive deal, because it is called as United Sovereign Governance Gold Optimized Dollar, and that is essentially a token that he's working on, and he's working with none other than one of the giants in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, that is A16Z and Andreessen Horowitz. So we'll definitely go and discuss what that news is. Now the news that is circulating right now is that CZ is actually going ahead and bashing Dr. Nouriel Roubini, but I won't delve into that, and that is your own decision to make. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode. Now like we do in every Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, I'm going to be discussing two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now both the news guys has to do with artificial intelligence, and one has to do with Dubai, and the second news has to do with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now the first news guys is that Ideal Systems, they are integrating artificial intelligence, NDI, and metaverse for a company in Dubai called as Blinks, and it ends with an X, so we'll definitely go and discuss that. And the second one guys is all the way from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and looks like artificial intelligence is going to contribute $136 billion to Saudi economy by 2030. Now look guys, one massive trend I've been observing, particularly in 2030, is that Saudi Arabia is taking leaps and bounds, not just in artificial intelligence, but even in the metaverse and cryptocurrency space as well. And to be honest, in 2023, it is a lot more easier to get news regarding Saudi Arabia, and I wouldn't be surprised in the next coming 5 years or so, Saudi Arabia might turn out to be the leader, not just in the Middle East, probably in the world as well, so far as artificial intelligence is concerned, and you never know, maybe blockchain and cryptocurrencies as well. So I'll definitely go and discuss what that news is all about. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode, so let's kick start with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee Date, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee at 8 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee at 8. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee at 8, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE, so definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, listen, guys, there are 3 things I'm absolutely passionate about. One is death metal, ice cold beer, and the third one is extreme sports, and that is Tough Mudder. And Tough Mudder, guys, is a series of obstacle and mud runs that'll push your physical and mental limits without the pressure of competition. It's essentially a community that is built on teamwork and overcoming obstacles, where stepping outside of your comfort zone is the actual reward. And my big question is, guys, when was the last time you did something wild for the very first time? Now listen, guys, Tough Mudder Arabia has a formidable team, and Tough Mudder Arabia, guys, is putting across a series of events this year and next year. And if you're someone who's in Dubai, there are 2 days of back-to-back Tough Mudder events as well that takes place on the 11th and the 12th of November at the iconic Jebel Ali race. Now listen, guys, there are different distances as well. You have 5 kilometer, you have 10 kilometer, and you also have Tough Mudder for kids as well. Now so far as the Tough Mudder 5K is concerned, it's featuring 13 of the famous teamwork inspired obstacles crammed into 5K course, and so far as 10K is concerned, it has 20 of the world's famous obstacles to tackle. So what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, go to the Instagram of Tough Mudder, give them a follow, and listen, guys, if you do want to score a discount, the discount is RaceSpace15, and the link for the discount is in the show notes below. I hope I get to see you there, guys, because to be honest, on the 11th and 12th, it's going to be my 25th and the 26th Tough Mudder, and one of my goals is to do 100 Tough Mudder, which hopefully might happen in the next few years. So look at the show notes below and get yourself registered, and hopefully see you at the event. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the RaceSpace Podcast. So check out the RaceSpace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the RaceSpace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing. Go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, as of today, guys, the global cryptocurrency market is a little shy of the $1.40 trillion. It is right now at $1.37 trillion. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 2.82%. Now, just to give you a comparison, guys, when Bitcoin was at its all-time high, only the market cap of Bitcoin was at $1.3 trillion. And the global cryptocurrency market did actually cross the $2 trillion mark, and there were anticipation and even past predictions that the global cryptocurrency market would actually surpass the $10 trillion mark. Unfortunately, none of those things happened, and the global cryptocurrency market, as a matter of fact, went significantly below the $1 trillion mark as well. Now, talking about prices for today, the total cryptocurrency market volume, guys, is one of the best I've ever seen in 2023. It is at $83.98 billion. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 92.72%. Now, particularly since the last 24 hours, guys, what I'm seeing is a lot of volume, particularly in the world of Ethereum. And the price of Ethereum also has actually crossed the $2,000 mark. Now, there has been movement in the world of Bitcoin as well. But if you look at the movement, guys, looks like a lot of purchasing is actually taking place in the world of Ethereum or on ETH. So we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that. Now, so far as the volume of DeFi is concerned, it is at $7.73 billion. But the total value log, guys, to be honest, is a bit disappointing. It is at $44.89 billion. And Lido is still dominating with $18.22 billion. And guys, one matrix that I'm keeping an eye on is decentralized to centralized exchange dominance, and as of today it is at 21.55%. Now as of today, guys, surprisingly, DeFi is accounting for only 9.22% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now imagine, guys, the total cryptocurrency market most probably might be the highest since the last 24 hours in 2023, and unfortunately DeFi is not accounting for a majority of that stake. Looks like stablecoins has definitely taken the lead, because the volume of stablecoins, guys, is at $73.71 billion. Now listen, guys, it's so important to understand that these numbers might look great if you were to compare it to 2023, but if you were to compare these numbers, let's say when Bitcoin was at its all-time high, or also if you were to compare it during the era of 2020 to 2022, these numbers are really bad. On an average given day, guys, the volume of stablecoins used to hover somewhere between the $80 to $120 billion mark. Hopefully, when we get some update or clarity regarding Bitcoin spot ETF, these numbers will definitely pick up pace. Now, as of today, guys, stablecoins is accounting for 87.87% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume, and out of the $73.71 billion, Tether USDT is accounting for $36.05 billion, Circle USDC is at $4.23 billion, and Binance BUSD, guys, its volume is at $435 million. Now listen, guys, if we actually look into details, looks like a lot of purchasing is actually going on in the world of Ethereum. And if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, on an average given day, Ethereum's volume used to be 1/3 of Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume, but today it is almost at 50% of that of Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume, because Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is at $36.6 billion, whereas Ethereum is at $18.8 billion. And to be honest, guys, Bitcoin's market cap for the very first time in 2023 has crossed the $700 billion mark. As a matter of fact, has surpassed it by $7 billion, and the market cap of Bitcoin as of today is at $707 billion, whereas Ethereum is at $241 billion. That looks like since the last 24 hours, Bitcoin's market cap has pumped up by roughly around $10 to $2 billion, whereas Ethereum's market cap has pumped up by well over $20 billion. And guys, if you look at the dominance, Bitcoin's dominance is at 51.98%, and Ethereum's dominance, despite it being low, it is definitely higher than what it has been since the last 3 months. It is at 17.60%. Now in today's episode, guys, let me just quickly run through the market cap of smart contracting platform, and one blockchain protocol that I'm keeping an eye on is Solana, because lately they've been making quite a lot of news and they have overtaken Cardano as well. Now the number one so far as market cap is concerned is Ethereum, and it is at $241 billion. Binance BNB chain is at second at $36.94 billion. The number third, guys, is Solana at $18.39 billion, and it has taken over Cardano by a massive margin, and Cardano's market cap is at $12.48 billion. And finally, guys, Tron blockchain at $8.70 billion. Now, what is a bit ironic and strange is that last week, Sam Bankman-Fried was in the court trial, and he was in mainstream media as well as in cryptocurrency news as well. And to be honest, guys, Sam Bankman-Fried was the one who was actually behind the hype regarding Solana blockchain as well, isn't it? So it looks like we are definitely living in a crazy world of cryptocurrency, isn't it? Now, guys, before we look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin, let me run through a protocol or project called as Holo, and the ticker symbol, guys, is HOT. That is HOT, HOT, a really interesting ticker name, isn't it? And so far as the founders of Holo is concerned, Holo was founded by Arthur Brock and Eric Harris Brown. Both of them have strong coding experience, and both of them, guys, started working on this project going back to December in 2016 as part of MetaCurrency project. So let me go ahead and give us some bits and pieces of information, because they are a cryptocurrency project designed to bridge the gap between traditional internet and blockchain technology. And guys, listen, they claim to enable mainstream users to host peer-to-peer application on the internet. Now, some of the unique features of Holo blockchain is they act as a bridge between Holochain and everyday users, relies on hosts to provide storage and processing power for decentralized apps or dApps that are essentially built on Holochain, and hosts are rewarded with Holo Fuel, which is a token designed for microtransactions, and their aim, as I mentioned earlier, guys, is to create a peer-to-peer ecosystem, something similar to Uber and Airbnb, isn't it? And so far as the token mechanism is concerned, initial community offerings in 2018 resulted in 1,077.6 billion tokens. Really clever so far as the numbering is concerned, and the hot tokens, guys, can be swapped for Holo Fuel at 1-to-1 ratio, and Holo Fuel has no supply limit and operates dynamically, and it keeps adjusting as per the demand. And so far as the security is concerned, they differ from traditional blockchain by using Holochain's approach, avoiding global consensus, and each decentralized apps or dApps guys has its own validation rule, and the data is transmitted to random peer validators. And guys, they focus on decentralization to minimize risk with end-to-end encryption for host and application connections. Now listen guys, if you do want to buy Holo or hot cryptocurrency, I'm pretty much sure you can buy it on Binance, Bitrue, Probit Exchange, and even MXC.com, and they are tradable against fiat currencies and even cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I'm pretty much sure with stablecoins such as Tether USDT as well. So essentially, in summary guys, Holo aims to revolutionize apps hosting by creating a decentralized peer-to-peer ecosystem, and the hosts are incentivized with Holo Fuel, and the network's design focuses on security through decentralization and encryption, and hot tokens guys play a significant role in the ecosystem, acting as a bridge to the Holo Fuel token. Now what are your thoughts guys? Mention them in the comments below. Now guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. And to be honest guys, I wouldn't be surprised over the weekend if the price of Bitcoin crosses the $40,000 mark. Now listen guys, this price prediction was actually made when Jerome Powell would have been announcing the interest rate hike, and there were so-called price influencers who actually stated if Jerome Powell does not increase the interest rate hike, the price of Bitcoin would cross the $40,000 mark. Unfortunately, that has not happened. Now, as of today, it is at $36,422, and since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 3.02%, and since the last 7 days, it is up by 5.16%. Ethereum guys is really looking great since the last 24 hours. It is at $2,015, and since the last 24 hours, it is up by 6.29%, and since the last 7 days, it is up by 12.04%. Binance BNB Coin guys is at $245. Since the last 24 hours, unfortunately, it is down by 0.40%, but since the last 7 days, it is up by 6.98%. And look guys, I wouldn't be surprised in the next coming days if XRP or Ripple definitely overtakes Binance BNB chain so far as the market cap is concerned. Now one of the reasons why the market is pumping guys is because Bloomberg ETF analyst James Seffert and Eric mentioned via Twitter or X that in the United States, the US Securities and Exchange Commission essentially has a window to approve all 12 spot Bitcoin ETF filings, including Grayscale investment conversion of its GBT Trust product in the days leading up to November 17th. Now look guys, it's going to be really interesting to see how the price reacts from now till November 17th. And what I would be doing is I'll definitely be keeping an eye on the Twitter or X exchange of Gary Gensler and US Securities and Exchange Commission. Now it's really important to note guys that in that tweet, they definitely mentioned that this was only possible and the likelihood of this happening is extremely unlikely. And guys, they also mentioned that delay orders were issued by Securities and Exchange Commission for BlackRock, Bitwise, VanEck, WisdomTree, Invesco, Fidelity Investment, and Valkyrie at the same time as well. And Safeout guys also mentioned on the 8th of this month. So what I'd really recommend you to do is guys, definitely go ahead and follow them, and the Twitter accounts and details are in the show notes below. Now it's really important to note that they still believe that there is only a 90% chance that any of these funds get approved by January of 10th next year. Now I definitely am agreeing with that guys. I don't think that a Bitcoin spot ETF will be approved in the next coming days, but if it does actually happen, that'll be absolutely brilliant, isn't it? You also need to factor quite a lot of things. That is the geopolitical chaos that is going on right now. And to be honest guys, I personally think that a Bitcoin spot ETF may not get approved by January as well. I very strongly feel that until and unless we have a new administration or maybe President Trump in the office, only then we might get a Bitcoin spot ETF. And listen guys, I've said this several times in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, left-leaning administrations and left-leaning ideologies are definitely not in favor of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and with them being in charge, I don't see a Bitcoin spot ETF to be approved. But nonetheless guys, what are your thoughts? Do you think the US Securities and Exchange Commission will approve a Bitcoin spot ETF? Do you think they'll delay the decision, or do you think the decision gets postponed by 2025? Mention your thoughts and comments in the comment sections below. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding Ordinals. And looks like guys, Ordinals has definitely overtaken Ethereum NFTs, isn't it? And Bitcoin NFT sales has surpassed Ethereum NFT sales for the very first time on 8th of November of this year, marking a historical shift in the NFT market. And according to CryptoSlam.io, Bitcoin-based NFT transactions totaled $17.17 million, while Ethereum NFT sales were only at $15.77 million since the last 24 hours. Now listen guys, this event is significant because Ethereum has no longer been the dominant blockchain for NFTs. However, Bitcoin's growing popularity in the NFT space does actually suggest that market is maturing and becoming more diverse. And so far as Bitcoin Ordinals is concerned guys, I'm pretty much sure Bitcoin maximalists have completely been divided on it. Some Bitcoin maximalists are in favor of having ordinal inscriptions written on Bitcoin blockchain, but at the same time, some of them are completely against it. And to be honest guys, it's definitely worth listening to both sides of the argument. And Bankless guys earlier this year did have a healthy debate regarding both sides of the argument, so definitely go ahead and check it out. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding HSBC, and they have decided to launch storage services for tokenized securities as more banks warm to blockchain, and they are the latest institution, and they have decided to embrace digital asset custody after US banking giant BNY Mellon announced a similar move going back in 2021. The look guys, HSBC is definitely seeing increased demand for custody and fund administration of digital assets from asset managers and asset owners as the market is evolving right now. And if you do want to look at the official information guys, CNBC has gone ahead and published this article, and the link for the article is in the show notes below. Now it's really important to note that HSBC is using technology from Swiss crypto custody firm called Metaco, which was recently acquired by blockchain startup Ripple. So it looks like Ripple or XRP will definitely be pumping up because of this news, isn't it? And so far as this news is concerned, they want to go ahead and store bonds and other securities. And guys, listen, blockchain can be considered as a shared ledger on which assets are recorded digitally, isn't it? And the technology served as a foundation upon which Bitcoin was built, but its application in banking are completely different to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And in case of banks, guys, these institutions are leveraging blockchain for payment, trading and other purposes, often without a ledger token being involved, and banks are finding utility in tokens by digitizing equities, bonds and other assets. So definitely important stuff. Now guys, let's discuss one of the biggest detractors of Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrencies, that is Dr. Nouriel Roubini, often called as Dr. Doom, and looks like he's also tokenizing the US dollar as well, and his project is called United Sovereign Governance Gold Optimized Dollar. And what this project will be doing is it'll be a hedge against inflation, and the goal is to get a stable asset into more hands globally. Now what I'd really recommend you to do is guys, Decrypt has gone ahead and provided this article, and looks like Nouriel Roubini's firm, which is Atlas Capital, which is co-founded by Dr. Nouriel Roubini, and he joined as a chief economist to them roughly around 2 years ago, and they have actually teamed up with Andreessen Horowitz-backed Web3 developer, that is Mishton Labs, and they're going to develop technology for the United Sovereign Governance Gold Optimized Dollar. It's going to be really interesting to see, guys, how this turned out to be. Because listen, guys, Dr. Doom has always expressed concern about the US dollar's reserve currency status due to the country's printing of money and the threat of de-dollarization by adversaries, and he strongly believes that the new digital currency could help to mitigate this risk. Now what are your thoughts, guys? Now right now there's an article circulating where CZ is calling him shameless. Now what are your thoughts, guys? Personally, I'm a massive fan of Dr. Doom, and whatever he says does turn out to be true. He's aggressively gone after CZ, and because of that the project has completely collapsed. In the past he has gone after Arthur Hayes. He has gone to jail, and guys, listen, there is a debate with Alex Mishensky with Celsius going back to 2020, and Dr. Doom very much predicted that his project is a complete fraud and a complete failure, and that's exactly how it turned out to be, isn't it? So those were the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee at 8. Now let's look at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East, and both the news, guys, has to do with artificial intelligence. And the first news, guys, is regarding a company from Dubai called as Blinks, which ends with an X. And the news essentially is that Ideal Systems integrated artificial intelligence, NDI and metaverse for Blinks in Dubai, and they delivered a media creation hub for Blinks, which is essentially a youth-oriented media news organization, and the hub focuses on creating diverse, inclusive and cultural relevant content for Generation Z and millennials as well, and it includes a next-generation metaverse studio, video production facilities, and control rooms as well. And artificial systems can actually assist content creators in crafting content, and the setup features a complete 4K ready audio and video chain with artificial intelligence, DNI and Dante tools as well. And Blinks, guys, aims to attract Gen Z and millennial viewers who prefer social platforms for information and entertainment, and the core operation is based on end-to-end NDI, Dante video and audio chain, and Blink's guys leverages personalization and interactive features to engage the audience, and they use artificial intelligence extensively for data-driven content delivery, and Blink's video backed is NDI based with virtual NDI infrastructure and hardware, and Dante Audio's consoles and processing modules from solid-state logic are used for audio, and also guys augmented reality studio sets and LED screens from Liotronics provide cost-effective augmented reality as well as mixed reality production solutions, and hybrid MAM and RCS sessions are supported by cloud and artificial intelligence services from AWS. And so far as the editing is concerned, guys, Mimir is the blockchain of Blink's editing suite along with various artificial intelligence and production workflow tools, and Dina is a cloud newsroom tool that drives news and editorial workflows with wizard-powered graphics and artificial integration, guys, aids in content recommendation, personalization, tagging, metadata generation, and content creation, and the use of artificial intelligence, guys, to be honest, enhances content searchability and optimization for search engine ranking, making content easily transactable into various languages and accessible from absolutely anywhere in the world. So definitely positive news. Now the second news, guys, is also to do with artificial intelligence, and this news has more to do with Saudi Arabia. And listen, guys, as I mentioned earlier in the episode, Saudi Arabia is definitely taking leaps and bounds in the artificial intelligence sector, and artificial intelligence is projected to contribute $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030, and in Saudi Arabia, artificial intelligence is expected to contribute $136 billion to the national treasure by 2030. And guys, PR consultancy firm W7 Worldwide cited PwC for these economic contributions, and W7 Worldwide is a marketing communication agency in Saudi Arabia, and they published a report on the role of artificial intelligence in the PR industry. And guys, listen, artificial intelligence offers significant benefits to PR industries now as well, and they do that by empowering professionals to analyze large data sets, and they also help in identifying trends, patterns, and audience preferences, enhancing social media campaigns and influencer identification. Now listen, guys, what I'd really recommend you to do is definitely go and read through the entire report, and as I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia does turn out to be a leader, not just in Middle East, but probably in the entire world as well. So those were the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee Date from Blockchain DXP. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxp.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So let's kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXP. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. I have a question by Bryce who asks, with Bitcoin spot ETF approval, do you feel any other cryptocurrencies that are not linked to ETF news will also pump up? Now look, Bryce, what I'm seeing right now is a lot of news regarding Solana, and looks like a lot of Solana advocates are definitely promoting Solana quite a lot. Now to be honest, I'm not a massive fan of Solana, but to be completely honest, they are definitely making quite a lot of partnership this particular year, and these partnership, to be honest, Bryce, does make a lot of sense, which means that there's going to be much use case of Solana. And there was also a report which is published by Vanik, which actually states that there is a very high possibility of the price of Sol or Solana to reach roughly around $3,200. To be honest, I'm definitely not buying it, and I think it's absolutely rubbish to make some prediction, because right now it is less than $100, isn't it? So for $100 to go to, let's say, $3,200 by 2030 does seem absolutely ridiculous, and there have been so many such price predictions. And also regarding the price prediction, Bryce, it's really important to note that Solana or Sol, I believe it is down by more than 90% from its all-time high going back to November, I believe, of 2021. But Solana or Sol price is definitely something to keep an eye on. Now mind you, this is not financial advice. This is just based on the observation that I'm seeing. Another interesting project that I'm seeing, which is making quite a lot of partnership, is Circle USDC. And what I really like about Circle USDC is they are making partnership with a lot of online platforms where there'll be significant increase so far as the transaction is concerned. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised, let's say 3 to 5 years down the line, if Circle USDC is eventually the leader and they definitely dethrone Bitfinex's Tether USDT. But listen, Braj, to be honest, the world of cryptocurrency is absolutely wild, isn't it? I'm pretty much sure there might be some project that'll come out, something similar to, let's say, Papercoin, which definitely overtakes all volumes, which definitely breaks all records. I very specifically remember when Shiba Inu was launched, it made quite a lot of news and a lot of people were actually advocates of Shiba Inu. And when Papercoin was hunting towards the moon, I do believe I was reading an article which said that someone who had spent $200 worth of Bitcoin had made millions, if not billions of dollars. So these are unfortunately the crazy world of the cryptocurrency. And as I always say, Bryce, all price predictions are 100% right, 50% of the time. But the news regarding Bitcoin spot ETF will eventually have an impact on other spot ETF, that is Ethereum spot ETF, maybe even a Ripple spot ETF, you never know. Maybe even a Cardano spot ETF as well. So it's definitely going to have an impact on other protocol as well. So definitely brilliant question. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And guys, remember, Monday through Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how this series of episodes under Crypto and Coffee Date works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well. News that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.